Good afternoon. We have Mr. Ryan here as our guest.
I'm Ryan Cowdice. I am from Canada, and I now live in Surabaya. Every day, I interact every day with many Indonesian people. Do you want my thoughts on the culture?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I like the vibe here. I think that Indonesian people are friendly, kind, patient, and do a good job of sort of thinking about the needs of other people and trying to get along. So that's really good. It does mean, though, it means that I have to be careful sometimes because, sometimes, like North Americans, I think, are a little bit pushier. And I have to be careful to not ask people for things that I don't really want them to actually go and do. I think maybe I knew it was islands. I knew there were islands. That was all I knew. Now, having spent a lot of time here, what do I think about first? I think about food. I think if you say Indonesia, like the first thing I think about is Indonesian food. Like I start thinking about eating sambal or something. Well, I talked a lot about the positive stuff already. I mean, I love it here. I've decided to move my family here and continue my life here. So obviously I think it's good. In terms of negatives, I don't know. I mean, there was some civil disorder recently. I think sometimes things can get a little chaotic sometimes. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword. There's people being excited about life and excited about doing things, which is good. But sometimes when it comes to politics and things like that, people get a little too excited, and then it can be difficult. So like a lot of things that are positive can also have a downside. I know a little bit about it. I think it's the sort of philosophy that Sukarno created in the after World War II to sort of be a unifying idea for the country. Let me see if I can remember. There's 5 principles: God, democracy, unity. Oh shoot, I don't remember the other 2. I think those are 3 of them. Yeah, I think so. That's a tough one, because I think I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg here. I don't know if the behavior comes from the ideology or if the ideology is just a writing down of the way that people already felt and behaved. But I definitely see that those ideas are reflected in the way that Indonesians think and behave. I mean, I think justice is a key sort of idea. I think that everybody here has a very keen sense of what is right and wrong. And it's reflected in everyday things. I mean, for example, I don't think Indonesians appreciate it, but crime here is very low. Very low. People talk about crime sometimes, but like if you go to, I don't know, Europe, I mean, you can't set down a bag without it disappearing. Here, I haven't seen any crime at all in these 2 years. Not one instance of crime. It's very safe, and I think that is a reflection of the general sort of respect for justice. Similarly, religion, it's an important part of everybody's life, regardless of like what religion you practice. I think everybody finds that it's an important aspect of life, more so than in other countries where religion is often not that important. Anyway, there's 2. I don't know. I can keep going, or I feel like maybe that's enough. Yeah, I think so. Canadian values, I think, tend more towards individualism, and we see the government's role as more protecting individual rights from other people, rather than sort of ensuring, that we achieve certain goals. It's more about like protecting individual rights and then letting people decide for themselves. So like, I don't know, it's a more permissive society in Canada. Like you're allowed to do more stuff. But, you know, I don't know if it's better or worse. I think these are just different approaches to life and what we think the role of government is. Maybe. I think there's parts of it that would definitely be like, I think some of it is not really applicable. I mean, some of Pancasila I think is meant to join the very multicultural islands of Indonesia into a country. You know, when you look at different like nations around the world, usually they have a reason to exist. Sometimes it's based on a national ethnic identity. Sometimes it's based on like a philosophy, like you know, the United States Constitution, right? They have sort of an idea that underpins the country. Sometimes it's a religious state. And I think Indonesia, you know, Sukarno understood that you really can't glue together a whole bunch of, you know, different ethnicities with different languages living in different places and have them be a country that stays together without an idea. And so, you know, I think it makes a lot of sense seen that way. And I think there's a lot of good things in there that you could export. Things like you know, social justice and you know, the idea of like, I think, so I don't know the wording, but I think there's like a twist to the idea of democracy in there that's more about like collaborative democracy and less about sort of absolute democracy, which I think is a really valuable idea. You know, if you look at like a lot of countries around the world today, we're seeing democracy turning into something that's closer to fascism or closer to like an authoritarian situation where people vote for somebody and then that person that they vote for wants to suppress a minority or start a war or something like that. You know, and democracy can lead to those things. I think there's value in the idea that, you know, you want people to vote and you want the will of people to be represented, but it's not purely about doing what 50% of the people want. There's a social aspect of it that needs to limit what government should do. I think there are lots of sort of ethnic strife that we see. Like, for example, I don't know if it's a civil war exactly in Myanmar, but you know, the Rohingyas are struggling there, and I think that if they would think about, you know, moving beyond the idea of we are this religion, you are that religion, and let's kill each other. If they could think about, you know, the ideas of social justice and you know, focus on their identity as a nation rather than as a member of a certain group, that's something that could really help.
Really, thank you for your participants of our mini project, Mr. Ryan. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.